I know, I can't believe that.
Which is crazy. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Good to have you back out there.
They listened and they put the things that I wanted on the car, and
Lewis Hamilton just admitted the Ferrari simulator has been lying to him, and Monaco proved he was right to walk away from it. After 3 years of questions about whether Hamilton still had it, the answer arrived not in a moment of brilliance on track, but in a decision made back at the factory. He stopped using Ferrari's simulator, and immediately everything changed. In China, no simulator. His best weekend of the season at that point. In Miami, back on the simulator. His worst. In Canada, no simulator again. P2, his best Ferrari result ever. This is not a coincidence, and Hamilton knows it. This video is going to tell you exactly what Hamilton said, why the simulator was hurting him specifically, and what it reveals about the hidden friction inside Ferrari that nobody is talking about. This is the kind of technical detail that gets buried under race results. F1 today is where it surfaces. If you want this level of breakdown every day, subscribe, because tomorrow I'm covering what Ferrari's Barcelona upgrade actually means for the championship. The Miami Grand Prix was the trigger. Hamilton finished 6th. Leclerc was ahead of him in every single session across the entire sprint weekend, all 6 qualifying segments, Friday through Saturday. And after the race, Hamilton went public with something that had clearly been building for a while. His exact words: "I'm going to have a different approach in the next race, because the way we're preparing at the moment is not helping. Not we need more downforce, not the tyres didn't work." He pointed directly at Ferrari's preparation system, the simulator. He said the SF26 feels different on the real track than it does in the virtual world, that the setup directions the simulator was giving him were wrong when they got to the circuit, that going on it was, in his words, sending me in the wrong direction. In Formula One, the simulator is supposed to be the edge. Teams spend millions on it. Drivers spend days inside it before every race weekend, testing setups, learning braking points, dialing in their approach. It is considered non-negotiable preparation. Hamilton decided it was negotiable. If you want to know whether Ferrari's Barcelona upgrade fixes the real problem, the engine deficit Hamilton confirmed this week, subscribe right now. That's tomorrow's video. But here is what nobody is saying yet. Hamilton's best 2 weekends of 2026 share one thing in common, and it is not the circuit or the weather or the tyres. It is the absence of Ferrari simulation data. China was the first sign. Hamilton arrived in Shanghai without simulator preparation. He took his first ever Ferrari podium. At the time, everyone attributed it to the circuit, the conditions, the setup window opening up. Then came Miami. He went back to the simulator. The setup he arrived with did not translate to the real world. He was on the back foot from Friday. Leclerc outqualified him in every session. Then Canada. He refused the simulator again. He finished 30 seconds ahead of Leclerc. 30 seconds. 3 data points. Same variable changed each time. Hamilton drew his own conclusion. Pretty much all the championships before, except for probably 2008, I didn't use the sim. It's a tool that can be powerful, but for me, I'm old school. 7 world championships, 105 race wins. And he is now saying, at 41 years old, at Ferrari, that the modern preparation method Ferrari uses is actively making him slower. Think about what that means. The simulator is not just a tool, it is Ferrari's entire pre-race development pipeline. It is how they validate setups, test compounds, plan strategy. When Hamilton says it is not correlating with reality, he is not just criticizing a machine, he is identifying a gap in Ferrari's technical infrastructure. But that was just the start. Ferrari's internal reaction, reported by former Ferrari race engineer Rob Smedley, who worked with Ferrari across multiple World Championship campaigns. A shrug of the shoulders. That tells you everything about where this sits inside the team. Here is the real story underneath the simulator story. Hamilton has now confirmed publicly that he plans to never return to regular simulator preparation. His words after Monaco: "Whether or not I use it for another race? Probably not. There are just too many risks. Too many risks." He is not saying it is useless. He is saying the downside, arriving at a circuit with a setup that does not translate, outweighs the upside of the preparation work. And given his 2 worst weekends both followed simulator sessions, that calculation is hard to argue with. But here is where it gets genuinely complicated, and this is the rehook at minute 4. Hamilton and Leclerc now prepare for races differently. Leclerc uses the simulator extensively. It suits his style. He extracts information from the virtual environment and applies it on track. For him, it works. Hamilton has now publicly and permanently stepped away from it, which means Ferrari are managing 2 drivers running on fundamentally different preparation philosophies in the same car with the same engineers fighting for the same points. Scenario 1. Hamilton's no simulator approach continues to deliver results. He goes P2 or better at Barcelona. Ferrari quietly acknowledges the system does not work for every driver, and the pressure to explain why their simulator is not correlating falls on the technical department. Scenario 2. Hamilton struggles in Barcelona, a power circuit where Ferrari's engine deficit is most exposed, and the no simulator approach gets blamed. The narrative flips from "Lewis found his edge" to "Lewis is operating outside the team system." Scenario 3. Both Hamilton and Leclerc struggle in Barcelona. The upgrade package fails to deliver its promised 2/10, and the simulator debate becomes background noise against a much larger crisis about whether Ferrari can close the gap to Mercedes before the summer break. 3 scenarios, none of them simple, all of them building toward a single question. Hamilton's instinct is winning. 2 races without the simulator. 2 of the best Ferrari results of the season. But instinct without a car that can fight on pace, on the long straights where the engine deficit is most visible, at circuits like Barcelona where every 10th is earned in high-speed efficiency, instinct alone does not win championships. Hamilton has found himself. The question is whether Ferrari can find the performance to match him, and that answer is coming this weekend. The comment I want to know: has any world champion ever been right to go against their own team's preparation system? Drop it below. If this gave you a new angle on what Hamilton is actually dealing with inside Ferrari, you'll want to be here tomorrow. I'm breaking down the Barcelona upgrade package component by component, and whether the new front wing Ferrari just admitted failed in Miami can actually fix the problem Hamilton already told them about. That video goes up tomorrow.